Hello guys! This Halo saga has been a long one, and I mean that. Playing every Halo first-person shooter game back-to-back, making this commentary and review series has taken a long time. I played all the Halo first-person shooter games for all in total for about 80 hours, playing all the campaigns on Heroic and dabbling in Legendary for this series. This doesn't include all the other times I've played Halo, mostly last console generation. That 80 hours is just the amount of time it took me in playing this game for this series and this series alone. This video editing has been rewarding and frustrating all at the same time, and playing the games was an absolute blast. Halo Reach Master Chief Collection! This game is part of the Master Chief Collection and available on Game Pass. And if you don't have the Game Pass at this point, then I digress with any insults towards you. Just get it. If you have decided that you just want to buy the game and do not have the Game Pass, and I think it's around $10, which is still a really good, heck of a great deal. You will probably need to own the Master Chief Collection as well to play the game without the Game Pass. Don't make the same mistake I did with Halo ODST New Upgrade. See my ODST video. Do your own research on the matter though. I can't hold your hand through everything. This is the first time I played Halo Reach since it came out for the Xbox 360 in 2010. Until I started playing it via the Master Chief Collection the day it was released on December 3rd. When I played this again, the first thing that grabbed me was this captivating graphical upgrade that 343 Industries has been working so hard on for quite some time now. The other thing I kept raving about is that I distinctly remember every single chapter of this game. ODST I remembered almost none of, other than I recalled getting lost, it's dark a lot, and the time my game stopped saving, last console generation. The very reason I remember every chapter of Reach is because this game, its layout, the engaging story, and really just about everything about the game, the graphics are amazingly executed and gripping. This 343 Industries upgrade looks entirely polished, almost. The skies in this game might have some of the best looking stationary sky art that I've ever seen in a game ever. So what do I mean by almost entirely polished? Well, what I mean is they did reskin nearly everything, and what has been reskinned looks excellent. I'm an artist, I look for things like this. There were a few small details that did not get an upgrade. Minor details and certain things that were not reskinned. Really because this game came out in 2010. The game itself was a clear graphical upgrade than Halo 3 when it first came out for the Xbox 360. And some things didn't really need reskin, quite frankly. But I can't stress this enough. It's such a small amount of detail that was not reskinned that you probably won't notice unless you're looking through this game under a microscope like I was. And trust me, this whole game looks very nice. I'm once again blown away by the bang-up job 343 did with this AAA titles upgrade. I've been really looking forward to this Halo Reach's release. I enjoyed playing every one of these Halo games, even Halo 5 at times. I really have forgotten how excellent of a game this is. Secondly, while playing all the Halo games, I kept thinking about certain amazing and really fun Halo chapters and wondering what game all these different chapters were in. And playing Reach, I'm like, wow, all these chapters I keep wondering about all the time are in this game. This is the most fun I've had since playing Halo's 2 campaign, and Halo 2 might just get a run for its money with this review. One of the things that has made some of my favorite Halo scores suffer is the length of some of these campaigns. I never played Battlefront 2's campaign, and I never will. I don't care about how awesome the campaign is. If the entire campaign is 2.5 hours long, then it isn't awesome. And I'll rate it a 2 if it's a fun 2.5 hour long campaign. The graphics in this game are exceptional. I say bravo to you 343 Industries. You have thus far made trash fire Halo titles, but your upgrades are quite stunning and distinguished. JK, Halo 4 I thought was good. It was 5 that really crapped the bed. This was a baller upgrade. I remember when I ran into the brutes for the first time, shot up one of their helmets, and when I saw its scary brute face, I was like, oh my god, these things look savage, and so much more detailed than we've ever seen a brute in gameplay. That was a cool moment. Nearly the entire game looks good even up close, and some of the reskins are some of the best we have seen from 343, period. I played on an Xbox One X, got full native 4K, full HDR, and a beautiful 60 frames per second, just like we've seen in literally every Halo first-person shooter now. Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Unless I'm playing a racing game, then 60 frames per second isn't something I need. It's just never been important to me. But on the other hand, under 30 is not good in my book. So for me anyway, the beauty of having a game like this at 60 frames per second is when there is a lot of things going on during gameplay and the game starts taking up too much memory, if the frame rate drops a bit, you almost certainly will not notice it. Some PCs and TVs can get 120 frames per second plus, and it's been said that most humans can't even notice anything higher than 60 frames per second. Fun fact, plus I wanted to point out that more than 60 is probably overkill, and slightly less than 60 won't be noticeable. I don't remember noticing a single drop in frame rate, and very few drops during this entire Halo series I've done. So in my opinion, that is where 60 frames per second really shines with the Halo games. There are a whole lot of YouTubers who try to justify 120 to 240 frames per second, and the only way they can justify this in certain videos is by showing you how the game looks in slow motion. We don't play games in slow motion, and probably none of us can notice more than 60 frames anyway. So please, stop the madness, people! Now on to sound and voice acting. This is the last Halo game Martin O'Donnell and Michael Salvatori composed. These are the guys who have done every Halo soundtrack before Reach as well. They created the Gregorian Halo sounds, and the distinct Halo sound in general. These guys are some of my favorite composers, period, because they are so outside of the box in just about every single regard. When I hear them, I know it's them. They have such a signature sound and a nuance that it's like a fingerprint. This soundtrack started off a bit slow, and I kept thinking, no, please be a good soundtrack, but as the game progressed, the soundtrack really progressed with it, and all in all, this was a stupendous musical score. Like I've said in every single video, and it has become cliche at this point, the voice acting is amazing and movie quality. Okay, moving on. No, we're not going to move on. The game is about the Covenant invasion and humans losing a war. This game takes very dramatic effect at times, and the voice acting reeled me in maybe more than any other Halo game. We will get into the story now. There was a mad scientist by the name of Dr. Halsey that collected/kidnapped certain children to become super soldiers. Dr. Halsey is a legit and certainly a very bad, horrible person. A real creep, that one. I really started to dislike her in this entry. Then, these super soldiers were modified with bone enhancements, which means metal bones, and made them strong to the point where one of them could tip over a pickup truck or warthog. Easy, no problem. Ever wonder why Chief can flip the warthog over with a push of a button? Well, that's why. The Spartans were then given fully armored suits. Spartans were created to help fight a human rebellion that was taking place at the time. The next thing we know, we have a race of religious fanatics that worship the Forerunners and worship the Halo rings the Forerunners created. They visited planet Earth, made the excuse that humans were heretics so they could take over human planets. This worked out good and well because the humans didn't have a chance against these things. Their numbers and their weapons were too powerful for the people. The first planet to fall from the might of the Covenant was called Harvest. Eventually, after the Covenant takes over planet after planet, the Covenant had their eyes set upon Planet Reach, which is where the Spartan training program is located, and headquarters for the UNSC, United Nations Space Command. A group of level 3 Spartans got together to try to fight the Covenant off. In case you didn't know, there were 3 levels of Spartans, from the most badass to the least. Level 1, 2, and 3. Master Chief is a level 2 Spartan, and he's a major badass, right? So if he's a badass, then who could possibly be a level 1 Spartan? Who would qualify? I'll tell you who, drumroll. Sergeant Johnson, bitches! Yes, you heard that correctly. Sergeant Johnson is a level 1 Spartan. There is a YouTube video that explains all this stuff. Of course, there's always a link for every claim I make, so check it out. This video contains some of the best Halo research I've seen yet. So Spartan and Covenant war begins. This is the first time the Covenant got any pushback by humans at all, albeit genetically enhanced Spartans and UNSC troops. The Spartan and the United Nations Space Command held their own for a short amount of time. The problem here was humans are terribly outnumbered. Still, the Spartans that did not escape this planet were killed. Or, as Dr. Halsey likes to put it, missing in action. Spartans never die, they go missing in action. Dr. Halsey also has a brand new AI program named Cortana that needs to get the hell away from the Covenant War. Cortana ended up on an escape route on a ship called the Pillar of Autumn, which coincidentally is the same ship Master Chief fled to during the Spartan evac off Planet Reach. This is a story about a small Spartan team that did not evacuate the planet but bravely stood and fought. The story was gripping. It was heartfelt and emotional. I really sympathize with the characters as their planet is being taken over as they are clearly losing this battle. Great big fan, great big story. The gameplay and map. The gameplay in this game is lit. I had almost forgotten about the needle rifle. I may be wrong, but I just played every first-person Halo game, and I think this is the only game that has the needle rifle. So my question is, if that is the case, then why? This is, I think, one of the best Halo weapons ever. Ever. So come on, bring the needle rifle back, guys. It's awesome. The Elites and the Brutes have the best AI of any Halo game to this date, hands down. They are very hard to hit. They dodge everything you try to throw at them. They even seem to anticipate your movements and shooting patterns. If you are spotted by them and you try to hide in order to regenerate your health, they will stalk you. In my mind's eye, Halo has no game that comes close to this as far as the enemies. Human AI in all Halo games is all the same. It's all bad and the AI's dumb. The NPCs are dumb. It's a meme, so I never needed to mention the obvious. But while I'm on the subject, the human NPCs, well, they're dumb. In this game, too, it was expected. This game took me around 10 hours to beat on Heroic, which is somehow a tiny bit longer than it took me to beat Halo 3, and I don't know why. Except for this game is probably more difficult. In playing this game on Heroic, the difficulty varied. From me saying, this isn't hard at all, to thinking, I'm nearly out of ammo, and now I have to try to take out or sneak past these 4 elites. How am I supposed to do this? And the difficulty is everything in between. This is intentional. This is how any well thought out game is going to be and should be. This game has a night vision feature that they don't shove down your throat like they did with ODST. I needed the night vision about 2 or 3 times briefly throughout the whole campaign, and it looks way cooler and less annoying than it did in ODST. In this game, you are with a team and you are no longer solo Master Chief. In the beginning of the game, one of your teammates says, "We are a team," so no more of that solo lone wolf stuff, winking at the previous games with Master Chief that we all played. The team is mainly pretty worthless as they are invincible, or so it seems. Throughout my campaign playthroughs, I noticed one person taking out one bad guy, maybe a couple times, and I never seen anyone on my team fall. Again, it's a Halo game. This kind of stuff is expected, especially with your teammates being worthless. The maps in this game is one of the biggest and most fresh breaths of air I have had since I don't know when. This game has a great map layout. There are lots of hidden areas strewn all over the place. Definitely more, I would say, than even Halo 5, I would think. Which that game has a lot of hidden areas as well. By the way, my Halo 5 review was a semi-troll video. I was being a troll. I'm not spelling out my jokes or my dry humor ever again. So there are also hidden Easter eggs. Like, there was one, I ran to this soldier that was freaking out about the alien invasion, how he's gonna off himself because it's too much for him to handle. And he keeps going on and on and on about how he's done, how he doesn't want to fight the battle anymore. So I did the right thing and did what any good Spartan would do, and I took him out. Coward. Map layout was clearly something that took a lot of tender love and care, and probably a lot of work. This game has so many different paths you can take to get to certain areas. I, for a minute, thought I was playing Deus Ex and started looking for vents to crawl through. But seriously, this game was very well and carefully thought out. Halo Reach Master Chief Collection gets a 9.5 out of 10, and I can't give it a full 10 out of 10 rating because maybe it just wasn't quite long enough. Anyway, this rating of Halo Reach is a great rating, and it deserves a great rating because it's a great game. With 343 Industries upgrade, it really deserves that rating because I'm telling you, this might be their masterpiece as far as Halo upgrades go, and as for graphics, as for the way they make the sky look. Hey guys, like and subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed this video, this series, or my content in general. And ring that bell, I always have new content coming all the time. Until next time guys, blessings.